Enjoy the show. Drive on Lugnutz.
Waiting for the boop, 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 boom to go live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch for the 111th Lugnutz podcast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Wrong one.
There you go. Welcome, gearheads. This was recorded on 3 July 2022. GM self-drives. Well, sort of. Premium care. We're going to talk about Soul. Nissan has a hood issue. And more. Thank you for joining us.
Play on my channel. Drive on Lugnutz.
Right on over here to facebook.com/Lugnutz podcast to find all of your luggy and nutty needs, as well as, of course, here we go, Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers main site, pjandwh.com, where you're going to find all of the crazy and luggy nutty moments right up top, just as always. Just like last week's Lugnutz podcast,
Articulators, Big Rev, Chevy, Big Rev.
There you go. And, of course, we want you to hop on over here if you have a mouse and a Contact Us page, because we want you. Do you have a luggy and nutty ride? Maybe you have something you want to share with the group. Don't just keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button and let us know. Like this first story.
Well, Chevy has been having this self-driving program out of San Francisco using the Chevy Cruise, as shown here, driverless taxis. They've had some issues that GM would prefer to say nothing about because they said nothing about it.
Checks out.
Reddit, on the other hand, had plenty to say. They have pictures.
Good.
So they all sort of stalled along a road.
Yeah.
That's a worse picture. They all kind of just stalled there.
Wow.
Chevy Cruises were blocking both lanes of traffic. The police were not called. The vehicles operate between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. on designated streets of San Francisco.
It looks like a photo op.
This occurred 1 week after launch of all free rides. They
Wow.
must have gone into like a park mode or something.
Maybe. I mean, it just seems way too weird, man. I mean, it's almost eerie how they're all like lined up like children of the corn.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
what are you doing here?
there you go. We're looking at the children.
No, we're not looking at this. We're moving on to the next story.
Well, the next story might be better.
Maserati debuts the Zagato. The Zagato debuted actually on 2015, but the roofless, Barachetta roofless version, limited run supercar owners took ownership of the first run. This is probably the only run. It's a Maserati, let's face it.
Yeah, that's
It's a drop top Maserati, or an open top. I don't even know if it has a top.
This is as good as you get.
Probably the only. They had the choice. Designer Niriko Hadara took inspiration from two classic models, the 1931 8C 2500 Sport Zagato and the 1957 450S Coupe Zagato.
Nice.
Owners, or purchasers, or now owners, had the choice of two engines, a 4.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 or a 3-liter twin-turbo V6.
Oh.
that gets from 414 horsepower all the way up to 621. Rear-wheel drive, 6-speed sequential manual gearbox, 50/50 weight distribution, 406 pounds, double wishbone suspension with push rods acting on the adjustable coilovers.
Yeah.
AP Racing 6-piston calipers for rear. No, that's not 6. Probably 3 front and 3 rear.
I would imagine. If they're going for 6. Otherwise,
Well, there's only 19 of them, and if there's a recall on this, you just give them a call.
Yeah, like
There's
that
not
one.
many. You probably.
What was that? The Hummer recall?
Hey, George, you got to come back.
You keep 19 names on a sheet of paper. These are the owners. One sheet of
Larry.
paper.
Gregory, George.
In other news, Infiniti announces a premium care. It's a new maintenance model for 2023 models. If you bought a 2022 model, well, you're just out of luck. Sorry. Covers 3-year scheduled maintenance items, oil changes, tire rotation inspection, brake fluid changes, air cabin filter replacement, tire road hazard, car rental assistance for some models.
That's the main thing, though.
Yes.
Brake fluid replacement. Not many people actually know. You actually have to replace that. It's a hydroscopic fluid, so it pulls moisture from the atmosphere, causes a spongy brake pedal. It also causes your brake calipers to seize. Your brake lines to rot out. So if you don't keep up with that maintenance, Matt Man's tip right now, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Just saying.
Yeah. $500 one way, $5,000 the other.
Either way, it's a joke. No, I said a joke.
You should really put labels.
I should. But Infiniti offering a premium label.
It kind of just looks like
Experience.
basic service that they're covering. So
Yeah.
it's nice that it's covered, I guess, if you're getting a new
Yeah.
Infiniti. You just got one, you're out of luck. But you might like this next story. We all know The Rock did. Well, The Rock is, what's his character? Black Adam. He shared, there's a video of it. Go below for the video. This Jeep, he retweeted this Jeep that is Black Adam theme. The Dwayne The Rock Johnson has always been a fan
Have no paper,
of...
ain't never gonna have no bitches.
No,
Hang on. There you go.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson has always been a fan of fan art.
And he's never going to have no bitches.
Yes, sure. I think it looks amazing.
Oh, yeah. That looks great. Especially with Black Adam.
That looks really cool.
We've been talking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Black Adam on the Triforce podcast for a very long time. And this car just makes me even more excited for that film. And it's mainly because the car looks so goddamn good with those almost like copper rims right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then the whole vinyl right there. It just...
No
It-
paper, ain't never gonna.
It sells it right there with the copper, almost copper rims, and then the vinyl wrap around it.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. Love
what-
that.
You know what used to sell it?
No
This-
bitches.
This next story used to sell. Not no mo. Kia Soul 2023 is going to make an appearance.
The soul.
Kia is making the Soul simpler.
I
For
mean,
this one,
I don't know how much more simple you can get it.
it should be starting at about $21K to start with 4 trim levels, but they've recently been known for removing options that were there before.
That's not
That
surprising.
you loved. You loved these options.
Simpler. How do you make a box simpler?
And they removed the gearbox. Only manual. And there's fewer colors, 12 fewer.
Oh.
This and
I'll go fuck myself.
a couple
then, I
vomit
guess.
colors, I'm imagining.
How do you make it
Actually
simpler?
know.
We take everything away. You don't get anything.
Well, times are tough. I don't actually know what the other colors are.
You get black or white.
It's kind of
that is it.
It's boring.
Yeah, no, it's cute.
It's boring.
They've been boring.
The first
before,
one,
but
no, the first one was a very exciting car when it came out.
Yes.
That was a great looking car.
yes, it was.
That
it
was a fantastic looking car. But this one has a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine making 147 little horsepowers.
It looks
and
like
132 little torques.
It looks like that car we saw in the beginning, but it developed a drinking problem.
Well, sales have steadily declined since 2015. That's the car's reason for drinking. Because it used to, this is what it looked like in its younger days.
I used to be somebody.
Yeah, well, let's look at what it used to be. The Kia Soul. It was a really good-looking vehicle.
It was, man. It
Some
was
of
really
them,
great.
For I don't know. Yeah, maybe not that
It
color.
had
That's
a
not
green, though.
It did.
Had
it
a
had
green.
a green. It had yellow. It had all sorts of colors.
I mean, you go with the gold there. I mean,
some of them are nice.
it
But
had
it was a
style.
different kind of SUV thing.
to the point where there was a website dedicated to people who owned a Kia Soul and wanted to modify it.
There's a website out there for everyone.
They had K&N air filters, different kind of mufflers. Oh, they wanted to be Billy badasses.
Okay. Well, you know what? Everybody does. If you love your soul, I say go for it. Just like this next story. This is a fantastic looking Hyundai. This is the 2024 Hyundai Ion 6 electric sedan. I think it looks fantastic. They mentioned that the next one, I think, is the side view I'm looking for. They say, and I agree with them, it looks like a Porsche and a Mercedes or an Audi kind of had a baby, and this is what we got. Yeah. Got the illegitimate love child of a Porsche and a Audi. Looks good.
Sure.
It's got that Porsche back end, and then they sort of blend in the middle. I think it's a fantastic looking little car.
It's nice.
Looks like it's got a hatchback, at least a lift back. Inside, they have the Prophecy Concept Pixel lighting element. That's pretty cool. Available in 18 or 20-inch rims.
Looks like they played too much Cyberpunk.
I like it. It's a neat little look. Drag coefficient of 0.21. Low front end with active air shutters in the front end and reduces the wheel gaps. 116 inches long, 12-inch screen. Base on the 800-volt architecture of the Ion 6 should be available to charge from 10% to 80% in 18 minutes. Wow. According to Hyundai. 18 minutes is really good.
I've seen worse. I mean, it doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad. It does look futuristic. They're making design. This is the one you'd want to get, I think. Because like in 4 or 5 years when it looks all bloated and they've changed it and they've smoothed the edges out like they did with the Soul.
It has prospect, I will say.
Same 5.8 or 7.7 kilowatt hour Ion battery pack options found with the Ion 5.
Does everything need RGB? Does everything need a red, green, blue lighting?
Yeah.
Like everything needs to be LED now in the future?
Yeah.
We're just going to take a piss into an LED toilet and you
Okay,
get fucking
so-
points for
So I
hitting
guess
the
I'm going to
toilet?
return. I guess I'm going to return that toilet. This has. Speaking of the electric Ion 6, this has rear-wheel drive, 320 horsepower, 444 torques. Not little torques, big torques.
You even get a little LED notification when you get a speeding ticket.
No, you get a officer behind you to pull you over. But you can tell him about the 300 miles of range. No price yet, but the Ion 5 starts at $41,200. So probably more than that. But it's a fantastic looking car. I like the LEDs on the inside, especially if you can customize them. You don't have to have pink. You're just offset because it's pink.
It's not that it's pink that I'm throwing.
And I
off
think
here.
pink is the target audience that they're going for.
It's the overall style.
If you go back to the outside, it kind of reminds me also, now that I think of it.
I love the outside.
It's kind of like if you were to take a Volkswagen Bug and like add a back seat.
No, it's like a Bug mixed had sex with an Audi. That's what it is. And
yeah,
you got that Audi and almost like an Audi that had Porsche lineage.
Yeah,
That's what that is. It's just ancestral incest of German engineering.
But whatever.
But
fantastic looking car, especially if you're looking for a Hyundai. That looks great. I think you'll turn a lot of heads. Let's hope it comes in more colors
100%.
than white or whatever the color they got there for the exterior.
Silver.
RGB inside and white on the outside. Sorry, that's the only color we have. It is a grayish white. I don't know why I made them German for some reason.
You make yourself colorful in the inside, but gray on the outside.
I don't do a Korean accent, so that's what you get.
Yeah.
Nissan has a great recall where your hood could suddenly open for no reason. You thought it was secure. Is it really secure?
Wasn't that Dumb and Dumber?
No, it's Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy, that's what it was.
Boy. They're driving around. Yeah, and that's when they crash the car and then the airbag goes off.
Yeah.
Plastic style.
Great.
They're recalling more than 300,000 SUVs in the United States because the hood could randomly open on the Pathfinder 2013 to 2016.
And that's when the elk in your backseat wakes up.
It gets better, yes. But they are working on a solution. They don't know what's going on yet.
An extra latch?
They don't know.
Maybe a little bit of super glue on that hinge?
They don't know. They're working on it. They're working on it. As of
structural adhesive coming soon.
Whenever Rudders, I can't see that. Whenever they wrote this story.
Yeah.
Sure. Great story.
Top notch.
Top notch, guys.
Good job.
Just like the top notch clip.
It's just like this top notch next story.
You know, do you have a problem with terrorists?
No.
Do you have a problem with people hurling grenades at your car? Say yes.
Sure.
Do you have a problem with people shooting, 7.62 ammunition at your Lexus 600 all the time?
Not really. I gotta say.
Well, if this is, you're supposed to say yes. That's how this works.
Absolutely. I am outraged.
Incas has developed an armored version of the LX600 available for worldwide delivery. I think that's the only
Finally,
picture.
Something for people like me.
I think that's the only picture.
Oh, we have a video?
Oh, great. LX600 has been designed to provide CEN 1063 BRZ level of protection.
This is what I deserve.
The vehicle can withstand 2 DM51 handheld grenades as well as receiving assault rifle fire from a 7.62 ammunition.
But do you see the red stitching? The red stitching makes
interior looks great. Also looks like they keep some weapons in the back. Ballistics glass, well protected in the passenger compartment, reinforced along with the suspension, body modifications, armored fuel tank, engine compartment, run flat tires, strobe lights, night vision cameras, fire suspension, fire suppression system in the engine bay, heavy duty doors, in case of an emergency with 10 pistons to open them.
Wow. I had a teacher.
You can also there's more. You can also get a siren and with a megaphone so you can announce over. Go away, I'm important.
That's awesome. I had a teacher who actually had, it was like an older car, like a Mercedes or something, but it had bulletproof glass. And it made like
Bulletproof or bullet resistant?
bulletproof.
Bulletproof is really... Look how thick that glass
It
is.
made 8 miles
You know why they
per
have
gallon.
that thick black thing around it? That's to hold it in place because it's really thick glass.
Oh, he knew what he was buying.
This has the same twin turbo 3.5 liter V6 that produces 409 horsepower and 479 torques.
Yeah. It's impressive.
So it probably doesn't do 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds anymore.
No, but it will get you there safe.
But yes, it will get you there if someone's firing 7.62 rounds at you. I didn't notice the price, but then again, if you're looking for an armored car, do you really want to skimp on the price?
You know,
When that second grenade goes down, that's when you'll be really regretting it.
that's when Hajib really
Say,
went
look,
down.
it's got flashing lights too.
He didn't skimp out. He skimped out on the second model. I mean, he should have went with that first model that he went with. I mean, it could have withstood 2 grenade blasts.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's what do they call it? It's a very long.
Hang on, we'll wait. It's worth it.
No, I'm going past the all the options. Elec has been designed to provide CEN 1063 BRZ level of protection.
BRZ level.
BR6. No, BR6, not Z.
Oh, that's
Very
different.
Tired and in horrible pain.
That's completely different. But completely different of hopping over here to facebook.com/Lugnutz podcast, liking and subscribing, as well as hopping over here to pjandwh.com, which is the home of all our podcasts. You will find Big Brother and myself streaming right over here on Walljanger Gaming Monday through Sunday. I'm going through the Old Republic. I just killed the Emperor, not to brag, but Big Brother is going through the tumultuous Elden Ring.
Yeah. Got in the city with my quality night. Give that a shot Tuesday or so. Whatever.
So we want you to hop on over to all of our great content, as well as knowing that it does not matter if you drive a Ford or a Volkswagen. Nothing rolls without Lugnutz. We'll see you next week, gang! Drive on! It does matter if you slightly bump somebody in an F1 race
Yeah.
while going 100 miles an hour.
But he could go back to his LX600 with it has been designed to provide CEN 1063 BR6 level of protection. So
He could have.
he's safe on the way home.
And that's the ultimate lesson we need to
The
learn.
guy who flipped the car and drug it on the roof, he's fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not a scratch. Well, I don't know about not a scratch. They took him to the emergency.
Shall we love you? And we love you too. We'll see you next week. Drive on, Lugnutz. Bye-bye.
Play on my tangers. That was a good segue. Our Island Kelly.
One thing I'm sure about is big congratulations to Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, it was a big win. I think it was his first big win.
150 races in F1.
Yeah, and
First pole and first win.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
My God. On the catastrophe that was that race, that was the crescendo. That was the ultimate.
That was a nice.
He deserved it. He
Hamilton
won
was
that race.
up there.
Number 3, P3.
Seriously, if you haven't seen this race, this is when
Sergio Perez.
you're not going to want to miss this one. This one's
Sergio
really
Perez was the driver of the day. And not only that, he started from the back of the pack.
Yeah, he was really.
And then came all the way up to P2. Like, my God, man. It was the race among races as far as F1 goes. Because it was Silverstone, the infamous track that is Silverstone. And then as turn 1, lap 1, red flag.
Yeah.
And
there was a huge crash where the car flipped over, and because of the halo, the driver survived. So
it was literally, that would have been one of those terrifying F1 races.
yeah,
like
but
Senna.
with modern
the halo.
technology, yeah, it's
With
not.
the halo, he's fine.
Formula One is not what it was in the 50s and 60s.
It's so much improved, but that also adds to the drama and
Yep.
the overall race, and that's what makes Silverstone what it is, and it also makes what that race what it was, because
Yeah, it's a great
Lewis
track.
getting P3, and all three of those people at the top of the race truly deserved it.
Yeah, when he struggles, when they struggle with the car, he generally can get it figured out. As the announcer was saying, by the 10th race or so, he generally figures it out.
But also,
There's a lot of great talent in Formula One.
But also, you had Lewis over there, like, guys, you sure these are the right tires? And that was the thing that it was almost that dig at the end of the race, like, good effort, guys. We did as good as we could, or something like that. And then he was like, because, if Mercedes actually learned how to manage their tires with Lewis, if they went on to the
sometimes
mediums,
earlier in the season, if they just listened to him,
if
couple
they went
races he would have. If they just listened to him,
look what Ferrari did when they listened to
kind
Carlos.
he's kind of. Lewis
He was
is
like,
kind
no,
of
don't keep me in the back of the pack holding these guys up. Let me go. I got the best tires. Let me win this. And he did.
Yeah, that was seriously
That's
amazing.
the difference between Ferrari and Mercedes. Like, Mercedes has always had this question of, like, I don't know, what do you think? Mediums? Go soft.
No, that's just this season. That's just this season. The last few years they won everything.
Yeah, I mean, but the end of last year and beginning of this year, they've had problems with tires.
Okay.
Well, management of tires, I will say. Like management of the subscription button right there, right above my head, is going to be the very best purge hangers and wall hangers video for you. Right above Big Brother's head, well, that's going to be all 111 Lugnutz podcasts in a playlist. And it does not end until our main man Connor says,
Drive on Lugnutz.
we'll see you next week, gang. Drive on.
Drive on Lugnutz.